Hi, I'm Roger Lindenberger, and I wanted to welcome you to my YouTube channel and to this video, which is the new NutriBullet and the improvements that they made on it. And today we'll also be demonstrating a product that's been around for a while, but I've just started using recently in my NutriBlasts. And this product's called the Raw Meal. It's put out by a company called Garden of Life. And what's neat about this product, it's a fine ground powder that has reduced a variety of ingredients, and the ingredients are things like fresh sprouts and berries and fruits and coconut flour. Some of the sprouts they use in this are things like amaranth and quinoa and millet and buckwheat and bean, flax, and so on. Anyway, one of the things I also wanted to show in this video was how they improved the new NutriBullet. I want to show you the new metal plate that they put on the inside of the blade mechanism and demonstrate how well it still works. It's still a very noisy unit, but it's a little bit better than it used to be as far as noise, but the real improvement will be this metal plate they put on it. And also we're going to go over some other things. We're going to show how to slice an apple. That sounds like a pretty common thing. You could just use an apple core and you can do it that way, but I'm just going to show you how to do it with a knife real easy and quick. And at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around, I'll have the list of all the ingredients that are in this raw meal powder and also show the full recipe that I'm using today. So let's get to it and get to making a nice NutriBlast smoothie. Alright, you know what's in front of you now. It's all the ingredients we're going to use and the NutriBullet by Magic Bullet. And this is the new improved NutriBullet. So let's see what they improved on this new NutriBullet. This is the improvement right here. There is a metal plate bolted onto the bottom that seals in the drive shaft that spins the blades. The blades and the drive shaft and all that are still the same mechanism, but now they've put a seal around it so that if there's any loosening or anything like that, that it won't leak into the container, which some people complained about. And that did happen. I mean, that happened with a lot of them. Even mine became loose after a while. And it became loose because that I overfilled it. It gets older. Mine had over 700 smoothies made in it before it really got pretty loose. It never leaked. I don't understand the leaking situation as much, but I'm sure it did leak in some. I've seen videos where they had a rusty color that came out, kind of a brown ooze. These still need to be cleaned every time you use them. This one is much less likely to leak, like I said, because they put a seal and they put a ring underneath it, a metal ring. Not just the big one with the 4 bolts, but between the rubber drive gear mechanism, the cog, if you were, there's also a metal ring in there. So it's hard to see it because it's off to the side. You can't see it. So anyway, there is one in there, trust me. So that metal plate that they put in there will make the difference in handling heavier loads. The shaft won't become loose as quickly and it won't leak. At least it hasn't leaked for me, and I've actually had this since Christmas, and it's June now, and I use this thing just about every day. So for something that I use every day that still works this well, I'm pretty happy. Okay, now on to the ingredients that we're going to use in this session here. Alright, so we have the raw meal, which is put out by the Garden of Life. I am no way a spokesman for that product, but I wanted you to see what I'm going to be using. It comes in a powder. We'll have the ingredients of that, like I said, at the end of the video. Then we have kale, spinach, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, carrots, radishes, and celery. Oh, and they're probably going, hey, where's the fruit? You only have berries. We're going to use an apple today. Not apple juice, or I should say not just apple juice, but we will have a real apple. And I'm going to show you a new way to cut the apple. All the other ingredients are already pre-prepared, but I just want to show you a little trick I've come up with in the last year or so, since the last video when I chopped that pear up all different ways. I want to show you how I basically just leave the core and keep the rest of the apple. Alright, let's get on to the actual making of the NutriBlast smoothie made by NutriBullet. Okay, now we have the apple as well. And let's pick a good knife to cut this with. You can use any knife, but I suggest a knife that can cut pretty strong and is a fair size knife. So last time I used one of these knives. This is the Emerald Lagasse Wusthof knife, which is a pretty good knife. I recommend it. So I'm going to cut this and show you how I core this. We're going to basically just cut 4 sides off of it, right next to the core, right next to the stem, just like that. And even the seed popped out there. And all I have left is basically just a core, like I was saying. We'll move that off to the side, and now we're going to chop this up and put it in our NutriBullet and make our NutriBlast. So here we have our blade mechanism. You may have wanted to see that earlier. I didn't show it, but it's the same blade, except for the bottom part, that's metal. Okay, we'll cut up the apple a little more finer so it breaks down quickly. I like to put the apple in first because it has weight, and we'll push the spinach and the kale deeper into the blades and mix it up better. And maybe that's in the way there a little bit. Okay, and here's the apples. I'm just going to put them in like I said. I'm just cutting one. In it goes. And I like to get a few things that mix easily on top and the things that mix more difficult on bottom. We talked about that before, how carrots don't mix very well, but celery does. The greens don't mix as well either. So like I said, I like to put some of the easier mixing things. So I'll go in with the celery now. And I'll go in with the radishes. Now we'll go with the greenery. We have the spinach. We'll put some spinach in. It's bulky, but it doesn't really take up a lot of space. So I'll probably cram this NutriBullet pretty full, but there are a lot of gaps, and that's important to note. And so it won't go completely full. And I would probably overfill it a little bit even, but the new NutriBullet can handle that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get it all in here, but this is the kale. I like kale, so I'm going to go generous with the kale. Make sure I've got a couple of radishes that tried to not get put in there. And now we can go with, probably the carrots, get towards the top here. And let's do the blueberries and the raspberries. And I'll just pour the whole thing in. I like a lot of color to mine, and these really give you some nice purple red color that I like so well. And now we're going to go with the new ingredient. You can take a look at this. This is the raw meal powder. It comes in a powder and has a little scooper that comes with it. In the NutriBullet, I recommend 1 full scoop, no more, no less. And there you can kind of see what it looks like. It's just a kind of a greenish, gray colored powder. And we'll stick that right there on top. And I want that on top because that means it's going to be the first thing that gets spun in. This needs to really get mixed in well because it's a powder and it needs liquid to get going. And once again, just using 100% real apple juice, nothing special. It can be from concentrate, that's okay. Concentrate is still 100% pure. It has a few other ingredients, but it's got all apple juice, that's for sure. The ingredients are mainly in these. The extra ingredients are just a few preservatives. If you're hung up on all the preservatives that go into apple juice and some of those other products that aren't 100% organic, I wouldn't get too hung up about it. It's basically just ascorbic acid, and that's it. It's apple juice other than that. If you're real worried about ascorbic acid, you don't need to be. I'm sure I'm going to get lots of people that say, oh yes, you better be all upset about that. Ascorbic acid has been known to rot out this and rot out that and cause this. No studies have found that. I would have checked that. So we'll continue on. There's always somebody that wants to shoot these videos down, shoot people down on their products, and that's silliness. Let's take a look at this up close here so you can see what's going on. If I get too close, it'll cut it off. So kind of right here, I guess. And there's what it looks like inside. It's hard to show it to you, but it's kind of a pretty yucky looking thing. When you mix it up though, it actually mixes and tastes very good. So let's see what this new NutriBullet does. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to screw the lid on, tight, very tight, hand tight, but tight. I give it a good squeeze. There, it's on tight. And it fits in just like the old one. And you'll know when you got it in the right spot or if you don't have it in the right spot because it won't go in. Now it's sitting right there. We'll start it in a minute here. But it doesn't do me much good to start it if you don't get to see it start. And I know you want to see it just like the last video. So we'll we'll get out of the way, get everything out of the way here, and we'll do just that. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start it up now, and you can hear it and see it, and you'll see it's really no different than the old one, except that it's a little bit quieter. Chunks. Nobody wants those big chunks like a nice smoothie. Makes a chunky smoothies are not a big way. Anyway, looks like we're about done here. This is about 40 seconds now. And it's continuing. Some of the videos they only go about 30 seconds. That's okay. We can go 30 seconds. It's kind of you're going to know your ingredients and what you're mixing in. And this pretty much does it. That's all it takes. That's real time. No cut on this one. Alright, and there we go. So now we're going to pour it out into a glass. And of course, like last time I didn't have my glasses, of course I don't have one this time either. So we'll get a glass and we'll do exactly that. We'll pour one out. And I like to do this over the sink because it makes a mess. Because smoothies are messy. So here we go, we'll pour it out. And this one's not quite as red as the other one because I got a lot more raw green in it. And that's made it a little bit less. But it doesn't make it taste any worse, trust me there. It's still yummy, yummy. Okay, stick back now to the rest of this video because the rest of the video has the ingredients for the raw meal, because everybody wants to know what's in this raw meal. Everything in it, just about everything in it, is organic. There are a few other miscellaneous ingredients that I didn't have listed to help mix it down, to help preserve it, and things like that. This product is recommended by dietitians all over the world. Anyway, have a good day and enjoy your smoothies.